relationship and your manager title it's really for there, it's only for a destination. But of course, if you need to work on something, sometimes you have to be a manager as well. The second thing for me, it's about the few methods of project management. I think I've done a metrics on Prince2, on Agile, and on other four. And then the last thing, it's about policy, process, and procedure. I think there's a hierarchy, but in order to do the job well, we need to know all the procedures. In order to fit the policy, we need to have all the processes in place. So that's my key takeaway for the entire 2 days.
Great, thanks, Andrew. Yeah, give Andrew a round of applause. Okay, yeah. Next.
Hi, Prof. This is Alan.
Yeah, Alan.
Hey, hi. I just want to share with the team. It's a great things that we all meet in this co-op, all comes together as one. I've been always a good listener in my team. Certain times I just like to keep on thinking and I did thoughts, but I realized that certain times you really have to speak out and share your thoughts, and we all learn together. This is the major point. And then in these 2 days, basically the kinds of project management, I realized it happens not only in at work, it's actually in our daily personal and family activities. It's the same like you come into this MBA, you plan for it, how you like to move, what are the things that you must really get yourself ready, and the Avanti School set for you a timeline. It's like also like a similar, this is how I relate it. And then in terms of the races, yes, I've done it in the office for these races, but certain times it's just being too pushy. So sometimes it's yes, I know everyone are professional, everyone is mature. So just to be empathy in terms of certain times they may have some things that happens behind that we do not know. So the last and foremost is always identify what is the possible implications if we fail. I know everyone loves success stories, but you have to think of the flip side of the coins. If you fail, what happens, you have to take precautions. Thanks.
Thanks, Alan. Right. A round of applause. Okay, next.
Jeremy here.
Yeah, Jeremy, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Joanne. First point is I really appreciate the sharing of your personal experience, and that really complement material from RU, which is I find it slightly UK and EU centric, and the breakout rooms with the rest of the teammates and the sharing. I find it very valuable as well. Next one is the sharing of an overview of PMI, Prince2, and Agile. So that's my company. We pretty much adopt Prince2 in PMI and Agile, and now able to see these three together. I've realized that I think some of the times I did blend a little bit of two, but I'm looking forward for your fourth methodology if that's coming out from you. Last is really very refreshing for me to know that there's actually it can be an A over an A, and there'll be a lot of R's among R's. So this is something very refreshing for me, something for me to bring back and see how can I apply it. That's all I have. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Jeremy. Okay, next.
I can go next. Yeah, thank you so much for the time spent today. I found the RACI model very interesting. I knew it before, but it gave me more insights how to really allocate roles and responsibilities. Yeah, I find that very useful for projects, but also for little tasks to be accomplished. And I also found the project methodology and the frameworks that we learned about today very interesting, and that it's necessary to apply a certain structure in order to perform well in a project. And of course, the leadership quality defines the outcome of a successful outcome of a project is key. So that's a major finding. And to sum it all up, thanks for the samples. I think that gave a little bit more clarity what is expected in terms of the assignment. Thank you.
Thanks, Rana. Give Rana a round of applause. Okay, who else? Next, grab the mic.
Hey, Professor, this is Raja.
Hi, Raja.
Okay. I just want to point out, a few things which I learned from this course, especially over this weekend. Okay, the first thing, that came to my mind is like, I learned about the role of manager versus leadership, like, leader. Okay, so far, like, kind of in an organization, we used to refer leader and manager as no difference. But when it comes for the actual role, now I came to know about the differences, like, especially the second point is the RACI model, like where it comes for the managers is an accountable person, like, if a project gets successful, the team gets a credit. But if it's a fail, of course, the manager has to take the blame, and he or she should be the accountable person for that. That's one thing I learned. And then the third one is the different methodology of the projects. Okay, so far, like, I'm familiar with the PMI one, and in current role, like, we are using the agile methodology. But the other thing that I learned is, like, not every method or any method that we apply into the project not necessarily have to be correct at all the cases, all the scenarios, because during the project cycle itself, we feel that, there are some challenges where we are not able to cope up with that particular, we are not able to meet that requirements for the projects. Yeah, these are things I learned. Thanks for your time. Yep.
Yeah, thanks Raja for insights. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, next.
I'll go that.
Yep.
Hi, this is Vajad. Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Professor, for such a wonderful explanation for past 2 days, and then for the team, everyone coming together. So a few takeaways. One which stood out to me was the scope creep. Someone was discussing. So how important it is to manage the scope at the beginning. And then clear communication was one thing which is a key takeaway for me, setting up the communication, and then managing teams, like managing the expectation of stakeholders and aligning it with the project objective. And to do that RACI model which you discussed is very important. How do we define and assign who is having the authority, who should be informed at the beginning itself? So it's clear expectation, everything's clear there. And then different methodologies, Agile, Prince 2, and PMI, which I think whole world follows. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Vajal. Yeah, give them a round of applause. Right. Who else? Grab the mic. Yeah.
I'd like to thank Professor Alvin for the these 2 days. Okay, firstly, I also gained a lot of insights and knowledge of this project management. It gives me a clarity and also how to apply onto this project, in the coming future, and also reflect on the past errors that was happened during when we were executing on projects. So yeah, thank you very much, and also thanks for sharing the sample. All the sample assessments. It also gave me a lot of insights on the preparation. Thank you.
Thank you, Alicia. Give Alicia a round of applause. Yep, next.
Hi, this is Maria.
Hi, Maria.
Hi. From my perspective, I found interesting because I've been at the leadership end of many projects, perhaps either indirectly or directly. So I guess that leadership intensivity part of it, which I think placing a label to it helped and understanding it from that perspective, because it's amazing how much time it actually does chew up, especially when you've got multiple responsibilities. The scope creep as well. Again, it's just like, I think it's putting things into context and understanding actually, well, what's that element and what it actually means and the implication it has to project management as well. And, it's an interesting discussion around policy, process and procedures. And I think it's come up time and time again throughout the 2 days that we've spent together. And I don't know if there's any one right answer, but it definitely is a conundrum that we all face, especially when we're managing teams and whatnot. So I think that's probably been my 3 takeaways today. And absolutely, the samples always help. So thank you.
Thanks, Mario.
Thanks.
Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, next to grab the mic.
Alvin, I will go now next.
Yeah, sure.
Alvin. Actually, I will just share what caught my attention, because a lot of nice technical things you have mentioned. But what caught my attention is when you spoke about simplicity and the common sense, and of course the leadership, and that it's all about people and engagement. So you're talking in a very complex environment in project management. You simplify it with the 4 keywords: that we should not forget. It's all about people at the end of the day. So that really caught my attention. And thank you for sharing your experience with other companies as well. That was really nice. Thank you.
Thanks, Trabel. Give them a round of applause. Okay, next. I think we have covered soon. We're trying to
Hi,
cover
Belinda
one
over here.
Belinda, go ahead.
Okay, I think I'd like to share is something interesting is, I could say that previously before these 2 days, or before I start reading all the materials in the mover, project management to me, I thought is that, the supply chain, procurement, those kinds of until that, these 2 days, a lot of sharing from you, the life experience as well, and from all the classmates over here, and all the material we have, and then we start that it's actually day-to-day life that we actually, that we have been doing, and we have been doing in our past experience, previous job, current job as well. So it's really a eye-opener for me as well. And I think the other one is methodology, which I think most of everybody was saying one of that as well. And racist, I think it happens in most of everybody's, in Korea. The only thing is when we start to sharing more in detail, and then everybody start thinking that, okay, this is what I actually experienced. It's only that we didn't really know that it's actually part of our life. Yeah, so I guess thank you. Thank you for these 2 days.
Thank you, Belinda. Give Belinda a round of applause. Okay, who's that? Who else grabbing the mic?
I'll go next.
Oh, sure. Shahid?
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Professor. Okay, so my take back, probably my main concern was actually the critical thinking. I want to thank you so much for that, actually. I'm fortunate enough, I'm at the senior management level. It's just that sometimes I did not show much empathy towards my subordinates and stuff. So yeah, I think in a way that right now I appreciate them more. It's because critical thinking in a way that I might probably think that my way is correct. Whatever that I do is correct and stuff like that. So I do not want to probably listen to their side of opinion and all like that. So I think that matters in a way that it might probably make things better. And just like you used to say that every problem, there's a solution towards it. And when I actually didn't know about the London Olympic situation. I remember watching the Olympic during that year, but I didn't know that there was a situation back then. So it's just it just reminds me that I forgot his name, Sir Otter, something like that. What's his name, right? The guy that actually leads the team. So the thing is that what he does is he works with his team. He don't just pinpoint and stuff like that. He makes sure that he showed up. He takes action, and so I think that's what I should improve on. And thank you for that.
Yeah, walking the talk, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Shahid. Yeah. Yeah, great reflection. Thank you, Shahid. Next.
Maybe I'll come. My name is Kam Yong.
Hi, Kam Yong.
Yeah, hi. So this is my first weekend for the course. Thank you so much for all the sharing and to really articulate the purpose of project management. I got to know about RACI, Prince2, and also the feedback mechanism that we need to have when you have output. You have to go back, draw the arrow back to the input there. So it's something that is reflective because it's happening in my company. Also sharing our own experiences. There's much talk of 3 Ps, policy, process, and procedure, which I find is quite interesting. So thank you so much, and many weeks to come too.
Thank you, Kam Yong. Give Kam Yong a round of applause. Okay, next, grab the mic.
Yep. Hi, I think this is Eric. I think I'll do my share.
Hi.
Yeah, I think thank you, Professor, for sharing for the past 2 days. We have kind of captured a lot of contents and also on the program management, which I'm familiar with Agile. And however, I don't know, I find that it's a bit frustrating, whenever there's a project going on, people are not doing their part or being responsible whenever, you task them to do, this always frustrates me. And then also what I got from these 2 days is that, there's always probably there's no one size fits all methodology for everything. Yeah, so probably I have to, like I say, I have to do some reflection also. Sometimes I may be subconsciously doing the wrong thing within the team. Yeah, and then appreciate every input or output from this whole group itself. Yes, thanks.
Thank you. Eric, is it?
Yep. Yes.
Okay, thanks, Eric. Next.
Hi.
This is Kamal. I'll just go.
Go ahead, Kamal.
Sorry. Thanks, Steve. I guess I want to just show my appreciation for the last 2 days. I think personally for me, having moved into a middle management role over the last sort of 12 months, there were, a lot of things that were imparted on me to execute a lot of projects, but not knowing, I guess, exactly how to go about this. And I think this weekend alone, just these last couple of days, has kind of formalized the stuff that I've already done already, but made it a lot more structured. So it helps with my understanding and how I could progress a lot of these projects further. That's all I wanted to share, really. Thank you.
Thank you, Kamal. Yeah, application is most important. Right, Steve?
Yeah, thanks. I think for myself, I think I've learned quite a fair bit and clarified some of my knowledge, especially on RACI. I used to thought that regional heads will have the A role. So actually, it's only one A. So I guess documentation versus the actual responsible can be slightly different. So and I think a lot of international projects that we run through, I think we can see that from all the case study, we have a lot of similar kind of conflicts, like motivation and things of those sort. And getting from the rest of the team members over here to understand how they handle those, and in terms of leadership, empathy, I think it was a great insight for me. Yeah. Thanks, Anna.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Vidya?
Hi, yes, thank you. Thank you, Professor. One thing I've learned from the start is learning is a lifelong process, and you are a testament to it because of your various learning journey that you had. And thank you for sharing all your success and your, I wouldn't say failures, but your learnings at this point of time as well. Also, thank you for the tips, support, and advice on how to get our assignments done. And also diving into the different types of project management methods, clearly stating from the start the Maslow hierarchy to the RACI, the different types of project methods. So this was a good insight for me. I'll definitely take it in my industry. Currently, I'm in the banking industry, so that will be a good insight for me. So thank you for that.
Yep. Thanks, Vidya. And some people quit their job right after they change to a new job because of Maslow hierarchy. Just joking. Okay, next, grab the mic.
Maybe introduce myself. I'm Stanley. All the while, my role is as an engineer or a technical. So I just switched my role to the business developments as a solutions mapping or solutions manager right now. So I learned a lot for this 2 days from Professor. Thank you very much for your sharing. And especially this RACI model, I learned it a lot. In the previous, I think I always in a position or in the role of responsible or in a consultant's role. So now I know how to position myself if I discussion to the next project onward or other things. Right? The next thing I learned a lot in your this horse diagram that you shared today. This give me a lot insight of these 2 days course that you sharing. Thank you so much, Professor.
Yeah, everyone thinks differently, right? So yeah, being humble and inclusive is important. Thanks, Stanley.
Thank you, everyone, for all the sharing, and also Professor. So I have actually been a product owner. I have also done many projects, managed as well as a project team members. But what I have been lacking is, a methodology, as in like something that's more structured and all that. So it's a lot of learning for me. I'm here to learn from everyone, and I appreciate, I have just learned about Prince 2. I've not heard about it, but I'm actually we have been more into the Scrum methodology, and of course, it's always a good reminder that if we have a very clear project vision, and always use that to appeal to the team and encourage them, and we can do amazing things. Yeah, so I'm actually very impressed with the China project. I'm like, wow, anything is possible.
Amazing.
With the right appeal. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Linda.
Thank you, Professor. Basically, I've been in various roles since the starting of my career, managing the large automation projects, and then moved into sales, being in strategy. I transformed the partner governance model in my company, but this will be a new task which I am discussing with you because I'm changing my job soon. So
right.
probably
because of the class.
Probably you can say. So basically, this will be a new thing for me because earlier I was part of a project, but this time I'm going to drive a whole project. And definitely the learnings which I learn over here, that will help me. I was listening about Agile. I have gone through various Agile chapters when the company was providing some trainings, some waterfall charts and all. But this time it will be a good thing that I came to know about the Prince 2. Okay, that is something which is really new to me. So I will really apply during my assignment that how the things could be applied. And probably it will help me a lot in my new organization to transform the business from direct to indirect.
Interesting. Let us know the outcome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ravi. Yeah.
Hi, Prof. Can I jump in
come.
on my reflection? Yeah. So hi. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to say sorry because I think yesterday I didn't manage to attend your class, have an event. So today is the first time I attended, and honestly, I think this is our last module for some of my classmates there. It's our last last module, and I'm super looking forward to it. I think because this project management, because recently I'm tasked to actually deal with a global project similar to Ravi, usually part of one, but now we have to drive it. So it's very interesting, and it's still in the infancy stage. So I think what you spoke about today, like the methodology and culture and all that, definitely resonates with me. And also I would like to, I think what I'm quite, in terms of those that's related to me, probably would be Agile. I think it's what the company adopts, and then totally get you when you mentioned on the short sprints, 1, 2, 3, because it's based on milestone. So looking forward on that. And also, I think, Prof, you mentioned about culture, totally understand, because I think with my colleagues, I do need to work with, other people in other continents like Abu Dhabi, San Fran, or Fontainebleau. So we do need to bear in mind all the cultural differences when we deal with them. And also, I think what Charbel mentioned earlier on the mindset, I think we do need to bear in mind, like the critical thinking, common sense, and the hard work, especially when we want to make decision making. So I think all in all, that's my takeaway for today. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of takeaway. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, next.
Hi, Professor.
Yeah, Bina.
I'm Vina here. Thanks for the 2 days. I learned a lot. I knew a lot of things, but I got a more insight about some of the concepts like the IKB model, and also the critical thinking is not negative thinking, and also the international project is just a project. We should just work on it. That is what I understand. And also the different methodologies, which I was only familiar with only waterfall and Agile. I came to know the rest of the methodology. I think I should study more on that one, and then maybe whichever applicable for the different project we can apply. That's all for me.
Yeah,
thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vina. Okay.
Prof, hi, Prof. Cecilia here.
Yeah, Cecilia.
So just like to thank everyone and yourself for the sharing for the last 2 days. And when I first came into this course, I mean, I've been reading the course material, but back on my mind, I'm still wondering, like, what is the point of doing, learning about project management when I'm doing an MBA? But I realized that leadership, this is not really about project management as a functional role, but on an application basis is applicable throughout, whatever role
as a person, business person is doing, or even from a personal perspective. So there is the application itself. You helped me transform my thinking of what project management is all about. That's number one, and I thank you for that. And the sharing that you have shared with your industry experience, I think that was really relevant, and it also helps me reflect on in my past role, how have I performed, and why certain project went through well and why some just failed. So I think relationship, influencing skills, and especially having empathy is very important. Besides the methodology of applications, getting structural way of getting things done, but there is also the element of flexibility that's important in pushing through certain critical milestone that might not be as per plan. So I that was my takeaway when I in the last 2 days. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Cecilia. Again, there's a lot of takeaway for us to absorb. Right. Next.
Prof, this is Evelyn.
Yeah.
Well, I would just want to say thank you because this course helped me to understand what is this project management is about. Comparing to 1.5 years that I was nominated by my bosses to attend a suffering PMP course. I don't even know what it is. So I do not know how I survived that 5 days. So I should have attended this course before I go for that. Thank you very much. I understand now.
Yeah, thank you, Evening. Oh, that's a great testimony. Okay. Yeah, okay, next.
Hi everyone. It's Jet here.
Hi,
Jet. So I coming into this MBA program, I've learned a lot from everyone over here, and especially on project management. In my role, I definitely have been pulled into projects, but didn't really know the methodology of it because I'm probably the end user or probably just the accountable person in my department. So I come from a retail department. And there's definitely a lot of application that knowing all of it is just a light bulb moment for me already. But to apply on it in my career, I guess that's going to be a different set of, a different kind of work. But definitely want to progress in this, better knowing how to apply it properly. And definitely with the tools that you have given on how to do the project, that's really helpful. And everyone else learned so much from people who are experienced in different industries. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Jet. Okay.
Hi, Prof. Terence here.
Terence, yeah.
I'd like to give my reflection. So, throughout my career, I've done so many projects then. Whether is it small to big, but over the last 2 days, what has reflected me is that I think the project is really an art and science, and then of course, a lot of time we learn about the empathy, the leadership, the teamwork, and all this. But academically wise, I'm not inclined to. So basically, these 2 days brought back all the academic methodology, So I believe that is the greatest take back that I have because we always do it as a practitioner way or the practical way, But the theory and the lectures itself give the academic part. So I believe that strengthen. Overall, next time when I'm running another projects, I'll be able to reflect between the practitioner way of doing and the academic, and I believe that is the most important takeaway. For this advanced project management. Thank you.
Thank you, Terence. Well said. Who else is coming up?
Hi, Prof. Can you hear me?
So exciting, I don't know who's coming out.
I'm Murthy here. Can you hear me?
Hi, Murthy, yeah, go ahead.
Thanks, Professor. For last 2 days, I learned because I'm from engineering background. I done small project indirectly involved, but I am not sure what is the project management they're doing. But I learn the basic things. Then I know what is the responsibilities the managers and leaders. Then I'm interested in the RACI models, what they do, what is the responsibilities. I understand that one. Then I have here I get takeaway is how efficiently the communication will be working. Need a clear communication will be give the better output. Then I get the different methodology I learn here. Maybe later I will apply on my assignment. Maybe I can future maybe can help on this. Thanks, Professor, for the last 2 days.
Thanks, Morty.
Hi, sorry, maybe probably I just step in. This is Imran here, can you hear me?
Yeah, Imran.
Hey, hi, okay. Basically, I do agree what parents say. I think in our work experience, we've done also a project. So the greatest takeaway for me will be really this 2 days is more of a conceptualization and contextualize it. And then I appreciate like the races and some of these things is like we know we do it and it has been always in us, but we didn't really have you put it in a very theoretical way and academically for us. And I think the examples that were shared, I think the articles that were shared, I think that's very insightful. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Imran. Thank you very much. Next.
Hi. Okay, this is Yok Fong.
Hi, Yok
Yeah,
Fong.
okay, so after hearing from a few of our classmates, I agree with them. We have been doing like project, we have been, we know the HR, we know the finance, all this. Just that when it comes to, putting it into the report and things like that, we still need to go back and do a lot of retouch. And then the case study is quite like this. It's something that I didn't quite expect when I signed up. I thought it was, all these things we should already have the background knowledge, right? But yeah, then now, we have to go through the theory to back our answer, in the assignment. So that's the part that, yeah, the effort you have to put in, I feel. Then what I learned this 2 days, I think the RACI, yeah, again, it came across stronger because it was emphasized, you emphasized it, right, yesterday and today. And then the other part was, Prince 2. Yeah, it's a methodology that I have not been exposed to. I know about the Agile, I know about the waterfall, in the software industry, but Prince 2, yeah, it's the first time I hear it. Yeah, regrettably, yeah. All right, yeah, that's all.
Yeah, thanks, Yok Fong.
Thank you.
Long list, who else? Grab the mic.
Hi, Prof. Zuzani here.
Yep.
Hi.
Zuzani, yep.
Yeah, thanks for the 2 days. I'm actually this is my first module, so it's very insightful, and especially thanks for sharing on your personal experiences in the different sectors on project management, and that's not something that is easy to get. And understanding on the process, procedure, and the policy, so which one comes first and all those things. So that is really, really insightful for me as well. And in terms of project, because I don't really run that many projects, right? So most of the time I'm part of a project team, and now I have a greater understanding on the RACI model. And when I was being assigned to either any one of the whether is it going to be accountable or responsible or any of those. And at least now I can really say that whether I'm in any one of those pillar, right? So it's easier to understand now rather than now they were just being assigned to any one of those RACI model itself, right? So that really helps me a lot. Other than that, it's also helpful in terms of the identifying the different type of project management and methodology, especially in the China project. I think we are not very sure which methodology they're actually using, right? So it's quite challenging, but they could be using quite a number of them. But this is something that we are still all trying to identify and see which actually is a suitable one, right? Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zuzani.
Hi, Prof. Good afternoon.
Hi, Samantha.
Hi. Thank you so much for these past 2 days and the team and the classmate here as well. And especially you have shared your own experience from your past your working experience. Here I learned a lot about project management. It's my first time to learn more specific on the project management. especially in the culture issue. Because currently I'm in a regional role, so I'm facing a lot of the managing cross culture issue in my company. So from this lesson that I learned these past 2 days and the case studies that you have shared and the classmate here as well, I think I learned something a lot and I knew what is my next plan. Thank you, Professor. This is my takeaway for these past 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha. Yep.
Hi, Prof.
Yep.
I'm Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
Hi. The best takeaway is the motivation to improve myself because I've been not studying for a very long time. So everyone is working very hard. They are studying on the weekend and although they have family commitments and all this, so it really motivates me. And I'm very keen on yesterday's leadership topic. I learned how to be a good leader. I learned not to have micromanagement and improve relationships, and also how to improve the management. So I learned about the triple P and the RACI model, which I'm very keen. And lastly, I learned that if there's a problem that is resolved correctly, it's not only going to resolve the current situation, but also maybe for the next 50 or over years. Thank you.
Thank you, Joyce.
Hi, Prof. Alice here.
Hi, Alice.
First of all, I would like to apologize that I couldn't be 100% committed the past 2 days. I really apologize on that. But at the same time, I appreciate that the learnings the past 2 years and also through your experience that you share with us, as well as the classmates who has a diverse experience in project management, really helps to share the project management experiences which I have not learned at all before this, because I have to be honest with you, I don't have any project management background. So this topic itself is really a totally new thing for me. However, I feel that I can learn a lot from you all and a lot of sharings from the classmates as well. And I do agree with Alan, what he said earlier is that sharing of the success of the stories is inspiring and important. At the same time, I think learning from failure is also how it helped us to grow and develop professionally. And working in a team involves people. It's not only like task-oriented, whereby you just have to complete your task and that's it, I feel having empathy and understanding the people that you work with is important. And sometimes we have our own expectations in handling projects, and which I have experienced lately. And we shouldn't have set the expectations the same as how we expected from ourselves. So in another word is that when we are handling a project, we should learn to be flexible in terms of working with the people, your teammates, and having empathy is the most important, I feel, because we are working with people, and we should not have any quick judgment towards anyone without knowing what they have been encountered with. I think that is very important. And taking time to understand and support one another, it will foster a positive working environment and enhances the collaboration. So this is something that I feel is important. With the flexibility and open-mindedness is the key point where we can work together towards the goal and also the success of the project. Yeah, that is my key takeaway. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Keep going. Okay. Next.
Hi, it's Donnie here. So, thank you, Prof, and everyone that has shared. I think a lot of the points have been summarized by everybody. For myself, I've been quite long in the industry with my company and have done many projects. However, I mean, a lot of the principal methodologies have not really been quite clear to me. So obviously, most of the application on the RACI model is there, but the new to me is new on even the Prince2 and Agile methodologies. So putting into perspective these applications into some of the projects that have been done is something that is a good takeoff for me. The management, linking that with the leadership and how the relationship goes in project management, putting back that into the feedback and developing lessons learned overall, and then applying that to the next project is also very critical lesson for this. I think it's important. I can see that it's very well taught in this module. Also quite evident is the outsourcing and insourcing aspects of it. So not just outsourcing always, also to look at insourcing is very applicable to project management. And also that all links up as a whole in general to how a cost target can be met, how a timeline schedule can be met for a project, and how that will affect basically generally the whole organization's perspective and goal in achieving a good organization, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Donnie. Yeah, those are very good points. Yeah. Who else?
Hi.
I can go, Professor.
Hi.
Shall I?
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi. Thanks, Professor. I'm Dallas, and it's an interesting 2 days, especially with the amount of text to read. Okay, but project management, I've got no idea actually. So once I realized a lot of times actually I've been thrown. I'm from the real estate industry, so a lot of times I've been thrown into many projects of such nature. So, but of course, not those international projects of those kinds that we ventured or we read today or yesterday. Most interestingly, we understand what is a project versus a process. And the various models of, for example, the red key, then the leadership versus the managers, as well as the various methodologies further interest me to look further into studying this subject more dedicatedly. I also understand that these can be standalone as a work itself, as a separate business by itself. So deep down, I'm also considering whether I should major in this or not. But of course, yeah, it is these finer things which interested me. But to put in a gist with the help of yourself and the rest of my cohort over here, I appreciate these course modules further, and I'm looking forward to the next 2 rounds for next week and many more to come, I guess. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Dallas. Someone was trying to catch the mic just now. No sound. Yeah.
Hello, can you hearing me?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, this is Nathan. Actually, I'm joined on the right time because this role is quite new to me. First, I thought this is my first model. First, my thinking how I need to sit down 9 to 5 in front of this. Then after that, the way you discuss everything, then you make more comfortable for me. I'm really joy for these 2 days. Most probably the leaderships and the methodology, how it is going to take everything is quite exciting to me, because most of the time I just follow that PMI, all these things. So the RACI and then the Prince is quite new to me, so I'm excited to do that. And also you talk about this, most of the times we experience is the right decision always making in the right time. This is the best part always is taking this. And then the common sense of the critical thinkings. This is quite impressive for me. So I'm looking forward for this next 2 weeks. Thanks, Professor.
Thanks, Nathan. You made it 9 to 5, 2 days.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, next. No more. We cover everybody. Really.
Hi, Professor. This is Felicia here.
Yeah, Felicia, yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for the past 2 days. It has been very overwhelming for me. But thank you. It is very interactive, so it is not dull and dry, luckily. And what I have learned for the past 2 days is project management is actually very important because it brings the leadership and direction to our project. And it is just like a leadership. If you don't have a good leadership, it's just like a ship without the rudder. You're moving without any direction, no purpose at all. So with that, I pretty like the topic of qualities of leadership, and as well as the framework. It does not only applies to work, it also applies to our everyday life. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you for your sharing too, Felicia. Okay. Anyone else grabbing the mic?
You know what? I guess, I was speaking.
Sure.
Everyone has pretty much covered what was discussed, and everyone has learning. I +1 +10, and I agree. Personally, I have not heard about the RACI model, and then after it's explained, you can see that it's actually present in all that we do. For me, I think at the start of the year, roped into a project, and then I'm called the resource because of the function I do. So I'm not taking the lead. For the first time, at least I can sit by the, on the bylines and see how I can support. So that's where everything we discussed started to form up an image. So I think from the very serious series of projects that people have been involved in to even quite minor things like maybe quality improvement teams, I think all these concepts can be applied. So these are the things that made logic and sense in the last 2 days. If I may, I don't think anyone mentioned how these sessions can be further structured to help everyone, but I think based on what I saw and what I personally think, number one, definitely we are adults, we're expected to put in effort to have pre-reading, pre-work, and then come in reading. I think the truth is, without me telling you as a seasoned professor in this sense, you know, most people wouldn't, and it's not that we don't want. I think it's a matter of time, which you mentioned. I think how it can be, how you can help us is, like for example, perhaps for next week's AM session, every module we go into, the structured thinking will be, this is where it falls in alignment with the assignment. This is where you pay attention to. Then, of course, we need to tickle our brains, right? You can always throw us questions. What I found difficult was without strong or any project background, I was trying to catch what was being said. Other than those that has common sense and logic, which I can think through and apply. Then the next thing is that, like for example, if you throw a question, I think most of us couldn't answer, just like the first discussion came up as no one could respond to it because we have zero idea, most of us. So I think if it's structured this way, it can help. And then of course, in areas where you definitely have the expertise, you can give us the answer and then challenge what we think. Maybe that's how we can think deeper versus thinking from nothing. You know, from nothingness, you can't think. But if you give us a well, we can jump in and see how deep that well is. This is how I'll describe the learning over the last 2 days. Definitely difficult and challenging, but you see Margarita is crying. Okay, that's what I'll add. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Stuart. Of course, we are listening, right? Yep. Yeah, you need to put in the effort in the next 1 week. Read a lot. You need to read a lot, right? Reading helps, right? Preparation helps, so that you will, you know, you are in a crash course. You know, you are not. We are not following the full campus schedule. You are good, lah. Don't worry. Have more confidence, right? Okay. Who else next? Anyone else want to share?
Maybe I just want to share. So actually, it's very interesting to learn about the product management type. So since actually for my case, because I'm a regional sales, a lot of time like asking my customers or my distributors, you know, any projects that we want to run. So it's like more like I'm asking customers what project we want to run. So actually, this module actually I think very helpful. And then for me to actually probably I can draft out projects and then involve everybody and then keep our like managements informed. Yeah. So and like it's very much different. Like I think now if let's say I ask my company, do we have any project, and then they can't even actually tell me that they are using what types of the project. Yeah, I mean, I learned 3 project types here, like 1, 2, 3. So I think a lots of times is that everybody knows that when these projects a small group and then each members, what is their talents, and then they need to form into individual role on this one. So I mean, but learning is a bit good, and then so I can also share within our organizations, and then that's what my bosses actually want people to influence people's. So a lot of thinking here.
Yeah, a lot of thinking and reflection, right?
Yeah.
And finding the right time to take actions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.